this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
Good morning. Welcome to Horizon Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Elliot Nadel. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I will be serving as your worship associate this morning. I am joined by our worship leader, our interim minister, Tanner Trask, whose pronouns are he, him, his. As we prepare to embark on our service this morning, please be sure to check your order of service for important announcements about congregational life. Now, let us join our voices in our responsive welcome. You'll find the words projected on the screen behind me. To all who are yearning for community. To all who are just getting started. To all who long to go deeper. To all with tender places needing care. To the ones who have healed and have care to give. For those who are curious and hungry to learn. For those who know that they have something to teach. For the ones who are just beginning to suspect they might nurture others' becoming. To the young and the old, the innocent and the jaded, the fresh of the mind and the deeply steeped. There is room for each and every one. Whether you are on your spiritual journey, no matter who you are, the people you love, how you look, what you can or cannot do, you are welcome here, just as you are, in this community of care and concern. We will continue our conversation at coffee hour immediately following the service in the fellowship hall. Welcome, and let us worship together.
Our call to worship this morning is from Kate Steinberg. Beloved companions, we arrive in this place where all we have to do is breathe. We don't have to impress or convince or win over. We don't have to know the words, "It's okay if we didn't read the book," or pass that class, or carry that title, or meet that mark. We don't have to be anything but who we are. Here we rest in essence together. And to move into this communal rest, we lay down our burdens, our longing, our craving, our unmet need, our error, our regret, our sudden disappointment, our anxiety, our shame, and our sheer exhaustion, our bewilderment, our bafflement, and our burgeoning terror. All of this we lay down together today. As we do this, may we be filled instead with presence. May we feel held in the comfort of our community. May we discover new compassion for ourselves and others. May we meet this moment with gentleness, ease, and gratitude for this air we breathe together, for these questions that we ask together, for the justice that we seek together, for the songs that we sing together. Amen. Come, let us worship together.
we light our chalice in the spirit of transformation. Nothing stays the same. Everything is moving, shifting, and changing. Guide us all to a wild and holy vision of our shared humanity. Please join me in our affirmation, which is printed on the back of your order of service and projected on the screen. Love is the doctrine of our church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in harmony with the earth. Thus do we covenant together. I would like to invite you to rise in body or spirit and join us in singing our opening hymn, number 346 in the Gray Hymnal. Come sing a song with me.
Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of hope and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time.
So I have a storybook today, and I want to invite the young or the young at heart to come closer if they'd like. They could sit over here. I do have some questions to ask folks. Oh, thank you, friends. Thanks for coming up. So I had a question for you. I wondered if there was something you did every day, like a habit, like before you go off to school, do you give your parent a hug or a kiss? Do you say like, I love you? Okay, do you like get, what other kind of things? Do you get a storybook read to you at night? Some of you do, some of you don't. How about the adults? Is there anything special that you do during the day that maybe you just don't think of? It's just a habit now?
Morning cup of tea.
A morning cup of tea, yeah. I mean, I have my 2 cups of coffee, you know? And so, I worked with a minister once who said 80% of what we do is autopilot. Do you know what autopilot is? It means you do it without thinking. And I get that experience when I'm driving with my husband, Steve, because I usually drive myself places, right? And sometimes when he's driving, I'm like, when did that store open? He's like, well, it's been up there forever. It's because I didn't have time to see just the ordinary things that were happening. And you know what? The ordinary can be very beautiful too. And so I have a book for you called Most Days. And I think you're going to enjoy it. Just the beauty of ordinary everyday life. The words are by Michael Lennon, and the pictures are by Megan Elizabeth Barada. Most days are ordinary days. I get out of bed, I walk to the bathroom, I brush my teeth. I get dressed. I look at the person looking back at me from the mirror. I'm one day older than yesterday. I look into the eyes of the goldfish. She looks into mine. She is one day older too. Do you all have fish? You have pets? A splash of sunlight plays on the kitchen floor. Voices murmur. I smell toast. Here a spoon and a cereal bowl. It's a plain old ordinary day. But wait, the plant on the windowsill had 6 leaves yesterday, and today there are 7. Outside, a bee drone. A dog barks. A car door shuts. Everything is the same. Or is it? That spider web wasn't there yesterday, and the puddle I splashed in is gone. A pine tree whispers to me, today is new, it says. Things don't happen the same way twice. That blue jay talking to us, that friend calling hello. The wind has blown yesterday's air far away, and the air we're breathing now will be miles away from here tomorrow. A cat on a window seat watches the neighborhood. A cloud drags its shadow down the street. The world puts on a show as it does every day. A man plays a saxophone on a porch. The bakery on the corner fills the air with the aroma of fresh bread. Trucks rumble, bulldozers roar. If this were winter, there would be frost on the windows. If it were spring, I could see dew on new grass. If it were autumn, leaves would rustle underfoot. But on this summer day, sunlight sparkles on the river like diamonds. What a wonderful, plain, old, ordinary day. See all the pictures? The world is moving, and I am too. Sometimes when the day is busy and the minutes go by too fast, I forget to notice the little things I love so much. The sweet smell of grass in the wind, the wagging of my dog's tail. Good things happen in the ordinary minutes of an ordinary day. A hug, laughter, dinner cooking. A soft breeze drifts in through an open window. I snuggle next to someone I love as she turns the pages of a book. The dog snores, a clock ticks, a sliver of moon hangs in the sky. When I go to bed, this day's ordinary minutes glimmer in my memory like stars in the night sky. Another day will come tomorrow, full of extraordinary things, filling ordinary minutes. An ordinary day, a good day, like most days. So I hope that as you go out through your week, that you're able to find some extraordinary in the ordinary, and that's a lot harder than you would think. So thank you so much for listening. So today's a special day because it's a holiday. If you are in kindergarten or below, you could go to the nursery and play. And kids in first grade and up, we are going to the blue classroom. We're going to go put up the Christmas tree and do some holiday things. So let's go ahead and sing you to your rooms.
May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice. as you go your way in peace, as you go your way in peace.
In our world, many voices are silenced. Many truths remain unspoken because the speaker fears rejection, judgment, or worse. Our financial offerings today help sustain this congregation as a place where all voices can be heard, where truth can be spoken without fear, where vulnerability is met with compassion. We give in gratitude for this beloved community, and with hope for a world where more voices can speak their truth. Thank you to our members and friends who give and pledge electronically. If you'd like to give electronically, you may do so on the Breeze app or online at horizonuu.org/donate. The offering will now be joyfully given and received. Thank you for your generosity.
We now take time to honor the sorrows and joys of this community, knowing that we are all interconnected and that what affects one affects all. Our first sorrow comes from Velvet Lopez. Tomorrow, December 1st, is World AIDS Day. Velvet honors their Uncle Dave, who they never got to meet because of this disease. The millions of others affected. And thanks to all those who have worked together to ease and eventually cure this disease. I'll note that this will be the first year in decades that the federal government will not be recognizing World AIDS Day, so it is up to us. Do have a joy, both a joy and a sorrow from Carol Franzen and Steve Clarer. The sorrow is that their daughter Sheridan is a union leader at Starbucks, and they are striking to get a better contract for better wages and working conditions. Starbucks refuses to negotiate, so please consider boycotting Starbucks until they negotiate with their workers. Their joy is that they celebrated their 40th anniversary yesterday. And we have a few more joys, mostly about the building. So we have a joy from Marty Keller for our new drinking fountain that's out in the lobby. So a thank you to everyone who worked on the project, but especially Warren, Rusty, and Ed, who did a lot. And another joy that the landscape renovation of the entry garden is complete, with a special thank you to Mary Morris and Marty Keller. And finally, a joy from Joel Wharton, and that is that the Sunday after Thanksgiving, so it doesn't meet the exact date on the calendar, but the Sunday after Thanksgiving was the very first service for Horizon Unitarian Universalist Church in this building 30 years ago. So here's to at least another 30 years. And we light one more candle this morning to honor all of the joys and sorrows which have gone unspoken and reside only in our hearts. And then please join me in the spirit of prayer and meditation in whatever way feels right with these words from the Reverend Dr. David Breeden. For the setting sun from an airplane window, for the rising sun from a train window after riding all night, for the sunlight even when we are lost, for the times the heart has longed to be alone, for the time the heart has ached for another, for leaving in fear and for leaving in hope, for the way home and the way away, for the windows and the suns we have seen, for the windows and the suns we will see, for memory and forgetting, for the change that is our lives. Blessed be.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Olēka. Your life is a highlight reel, a gradual search for a handful of memories. We like to think that every moment has potential, that there's something transcendent hidden all around, that if you'd only stop to seize the day, you could hold on to it and carry it with you. But the truth is, most of life is forgotten instantly, almost as it's happening. chances are that even a day like today will slip through your fingers and dissolve into oblivion, washed clean by the tides. The labor of keeping your body going, of hauling it back and forth across the same stretch of road, no closer than you were the day before. You keep breathing in and out. Things fall apart. You clean up the mess. And it all washes away in the night, to be built up again in the morning. You keep throwing the week against the wall to see what sticks, hoping you'll remember something that happened today. Anything. You begin to wonder if you're wasting your life, spending so much energy just pushing back against the current, keeping your small boat afloat, until you can finally say, "Eureka, I've found it." But the rest of life is happening anyway, whether you'll remember it or not. You might as well say, "Olēka, I've lost it," as if to mark the passage of yet another opportunity flushed down the hourglass. A final toast to the endless forgotten days, whose humble labor has given you everything you have, at least for the moment. As the song says, long live the high tide and long live the low, but above all, long live the difference.
Hey, 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 hey. Ooh, won't you come see about me? I'll be alone, dancing, you know it, baby. Tell me your troubles and doubts, giving everything inside and out. Love strange, so real in the dark. Think of the tender things that we were working on. Slow change may pull us apart when the light gets in your heart, baby. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. Will you stand above me? Look my way, never love me. Rain keeps falling down, down, down. Would you recognize me? Call my name or walk on by. Rain keeps falling down, down, down. Hey, 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 hey. Ooh, oh, oh. Don't you try and pretend it's my feeling will win in the end. I won't harm you or touch your defenses. Vanity, insecurity. Don't you forget about me. I'll be alone, dancing, you know it, baby. Going to tear you apart. I'll put us back together at heart, baby. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. But you walk on by. Will you call my name as you walk on by? Will you call my name? when you walk away. Will you walk on by? Come on, call my name. Will you call my name? I say la
So I was probably 5 or 6 when I learned the truth about bad dreams and nightmares. One night I had a pretty scary nightmare. It was in a really dark place. Kind of felt like it was some kind of like ancient Egyptian pyramid. It was dark and dusty and dry, and there was a lit path ahead of me, some kind of ghostly flames in green and blue. And at the end of that path, very like straight ahead of me, just really far away, was my parents' minivan. But lining this pathway were giant wolf-headed statues in red robes. And I started walking toward the van because if I made it there, I'd be safe, right? Like that's how dreams go. And after I passed a few of the statues, they came to life. They dropped to all fours and started racing after me, those red robes fluttering behind them. And I ran as fast as I could, but before they could catch me or before I could reach the van, I woke up in a panic. And because I was 5 or 6 years old, I ran to my parents' bedroom and I woke up my mom telling her I had a nightmare. And half asleep, she told me the truth about nightmares. That you can only ever have the same bad dream twice, because after that second time, your brain will recognize that it's a bad dream and you can just wake yourself up. No problem. She said she loved me, she kissed me on the forehead, and she told me to go back to bed. And me, 5 or 6 years old, went back to my shared bedroom with my younger brother, crawled under my dinosaur print comforter, and went back to sleep, and no more nightmares that night. Now, years later, I learned the actual truth about bad dreams and nightmares, and that is that there is no limit to the number of times you can have a nightmare. Well, there's no limit to the number of times you all can have nightmares. I've never had the same one more than twice, even after I learned that my mom was lying to me that night. And a few years ago, probably a holiday dinner, my parents and siblings were all kind of hanging out and talking about old memories. And I brought up that story of that night and like how ever since I've never had the same nightmare more than twice. And my mom looked thoughtful for a minute and then she said, "I said that?" She had no idea. She didn't remember it at all. This giant life-affecting moment for me, and nothing. Now, I'm not blaming her. She was half asleep. She had some snotty kid waking her up, and she just wanted to get back to sleep. But for me, it was a formative memory that has had a real effect on my life going forward for decades. And for her, it might as well have never happened. Olēka, like the reading said. I've lost it. And most of our lives are like that night, at least from my mom's point of view. We do live our lives, every second of them. We don't remember it all, though. And it's not that we're necessarily on autopilot or not thinking. Sometimes we are. It's just that we have a limited capacity for memory. We can't remember everything. So we remember the big things. The first day of school, our favorite teacher or holiday, maybe a vacation or a family reunion. the first time on a bike or a skateboard or skis, learning to tie your shoes, or that one episode of Mr. Rogers where they went to the crayon factory and showed you how they were made. But there's so much of this that we don't remember, so much that will fade away, sometimes even later that day. I mean, how many of you remember what you had for breakfast? Most of you probably. Some of you are rapidly trying to remember. And our first instinct is to fight back against this, right? To proclaim that every day should be memorable, that if we spend a day just resting or doing dishes in the laundry or cleaning the house or handling car maintenance or doing other chores, then that day is wasted. And I have to ask why. Why does a day like that count as a waste? Because it wasn't memorable? Because we'll forget the details? Or because we've been conditioned to think that our time is only worthwhile if we produce or consume something? Because we have been conditioned on purpose to think that our time must be spent profitably, otherwise it's wasted. I mean, companies spend billions and billions of dollars trying to keep your attention. It isn't fair that there's so many people, so many systems, so much money being spent to develop these conditioning systems to convince us that every minute of every day has to be worth something. And it isn't fair, but that doesn't mean that we've lost. Tricia Hersey, the author of Rest is Resistance and the founder of the NAP Ministry, said it best, quote, "We are sleep deprived because the systems view us as machines, but bodies are not machines. Our bodies are a site of liberation. We are divine, and our rest is divine. I believe rest, sleeps, naps, daydreaming, and slowing down can help us all wake up to see the truth of ourselves. Rest is care. Rest is resistance because it disrupts and pushes back against capitalism and white supremacy." End quote. These days that we forget because nothing important happened, that seem like such a waste according to society's judgment, they aren't. They aren't a waste, and they aren't unimportant. These days of rest and healing and maintenance are essential to us as human beings. Now, what that looks like will be different for each one of us. Some of us, it might mean a nice afternoon with a book. For others, it might mean playing a few video games after dinner, or various types of spiritual practices like prayer or meditation, or even just a nice nap in between phone calls and appointments. And now we can't just play video games or read books or take naps or pray or meditate. But doing so as part of our lives is not just okay in moderation, it's necessary in moderation. It is good and healthy for us in moderation. And sometimes we're just so burnt out and tired that we need a full day to rest. And our culture will tell you a day like that is a waste. Hersey is telling you that it isn't. I'm telling you that it isn't. So be kind to yourself and tell yourself that a day of rest is not a waste. There's a song that I think about a lot. It's called Rings by the rapper A$AP Rock. He grew up thinking that he'd be a visual artist. He went to school for it, he practiced it, he worked really hard at it, painting, drawing, different kinds of visual mediums of art. And it never really worked out for him financially, so he kind of fell into his backup habit of music instead. And in that song, Rings, Ace shares, "I used to draw. It's hard to admit that I used to draw." And it's not like there was one day where he made some fateful decision to throw away his paints and trade it for a microphone. But it was a routine day with a dirt cheap brush, then a week goes by and it goes untouched, then 2, then 3, then a month. It was just a routine day. It was a painting left half finished. He got busy for a week and didn't get a chance to get back to it. And that week became weeks, and that became a month, and that became months, and then it became the rest of his life. He used to paint. I used to play the saxophone. It's hard to admit that I used to play the saxophone. I used to run 5K mud runs. Hard to admit that I don't run. I used to teach math and social studies, and it's hard to admit that I used to teach. Our conditioning, because remember we have been conditioned, tells us to see these as tragedies. And sometimes they are, and sometimes they aren't. Sometimes the thing that you do turns into something that you used to do. Maybe you decided to quit, or maybe it just kind of happened, or maybe something changed through no fault of your own that meant that you couldn't keep doing it. Sometimes there's really nothing stopping you from picking it back up, and sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. Either way, it's okay. The time you spent doing that thing you used to do was not wasted. I was talking to a friend, this is probably a few months ago at this point, and he was telling me that he used to play the guitar. Back in the day, he used to play the guitar. And he played with a few bands, no one that any of us have heard of. He played a few shows, probably none of us were there. And just nothing big ever came out of it. But he spent a lot of time learning the guitar, playing the guitar, performing with people he knew. And after sharing that memory, he said, "It's a shame that I wasted all that time with the guitar." And I couldn't disagree more. Playing music, learning an instrument, and performing isn't a waste of time. Sure, it didn't last forever, but nothing does. Think of your favorite live performance that you were there for. It could be theater, music, sports, whatever, as long as it was live and you were there. But and however fun it was, or exciting, or moving, or emotional, it ended. It had to, right? Did those performers waste their time because the performance ended? Did you waste your time by going because it wasn't permanent? Of course not. Things do not have to last forever to have mattered. So, let's say that we've come to terms with the fact that we won't remember most of our lives, that everything we do and everything that we have is in some way temporary. What now? Well, the good news is that as Unitarian Universalists, we can make whatever decision we want. It's also the bad news, because no matter what we do, there will be consequences. Consequences aren't necessarily good or bad, though, just an effect following a cause. Because what's the consequence of brushing and flossing your teeth regularly? Fewer trips to the dentist. It's a good consequence. What's the consequence of stretching and moving around as best you can every day? Better mobility than if you didn't. But what's the consequence of not paying your taxes correctly? Well, the IRS is going to want to have a chat. And when I was a teacher, we called those natural consequences. These aren't punishments or rewards imposed by others. You're not going to get in trouble or grounded for not flossing, but you will probably need to pay more at the dentist every time. So consider this. Human beings tend to go in the direction we're looking. And if you haven't sort of experienced that for yourself, find a safe patch of grass where it won't matter if you kind of veer off course. Don't do this near a road, and don't do this while you're driving. But look to your left or right and try and walk in a straight line. If you were in marching band, you do have an unfair advantage here. But most likely, as you're trying to walk straight forward and keep your attention to the side, you're going to start drifting to that side. It's human nature. We all do it. And it kind of goes with everything that we do as human beings. We go where we're looking. So maybe instead of a New Year's resolution a month from now, most of us know how successful those tend to be, myself included, maybe put together a vision of the person that you want to be a year from now, or 5 years, or 10 years, or whatever time frame you want to look at. And then figure out what habits would be useful to move you in that direction. Remember, we go in the direction we look, so let's pick a direction we'd like. For some of us, that might mean cutting down on sugar or alcohol or late night snacking. For some of us, that might mean reading more books or attending some continuing education classes you've had your eyes on for a couple of years now. It could mean being more active or volunteering more or setting aside just a little bit more money to donate to good causes and organizations. It could mean picking up a new spiritual practice like meditating or journaling. Or maybe you pick the guitar back up so that playing guitar isn't something that you used to do. Whatever it is, write it down, put it on a post-it note that you'll see, maybe not every day, but a few times a week. Bathroom mirror, refrigerator door, whatever. And pick a few habits to start building, to move in that direction and to sort of fulfill those goals. And it's going to be tough at first, but keep at it. And if you can keep going, and just keep going until it's something your body expects you to do, like it expects you to doom scroll before bed now, then you'll be able to succeed. Then even these forgotten, routine, run-of-the-mill, ordinary, normal, everyday days will start adding up. It'll surprise you how fast things can change if you change them. I know we're all busy, but I'm sure you can find at least 20 minutes out of a day that you're scrolling on your phone. Whether you meditate or bake something or journal or write or draw or find a little artistic project to mess with, it doesn't matter. It's not something that you need to do to make money either. It's not about that. You don't even have to get better at it. You just have to do it. It's about reclaiming bits and pieces of your life. It's about building muscle memory. It's about choosing intentionally how you want to live your life, even those days that you won't remember. So keep living this life. Keep showing up to the big things. Take pictures, tell the stories, be fully present. Remember birthdays and anniversaries and milestones. And when you have a day that feels ordinary, like really ordinary, like you woke up, you brushed your teeth, you had something for breakfast, maybe you didn't. And then you went to work or you ran some errands and you went and got some things done. And then maybe there was a phone call or a meeting and you got home and you spend some time with the family or some friends or roommates or the dog or just by yourself. You have something for dinner and you go to bed. Nothing major, nothing life-changing. And as you're in bed trying to fall asleep, you're just thinking of all the things you need to get done tomorrow. On a day like that, before you fall asleep, take a moment, take a breath, and then, to the day that is ending, say thank you. I wouldn't be the person I am without days like this. Say it in a way that isn't permanent, because that's not the point. Don't write it down, don't record yourself saying it, don't post it on social media. Just say thank you. Olēka, you've lost it. Because things don't have to last forever to have happened. Your life is happening. Those lost days happened even if you don't remember them. And they mattered. Every single one of them.
Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
We extinguish this flame, but not our commitment to welcoming radically, loving boldly, grow spiritually, and serve courageously. We do this because we envision a beloved community filled with compassion, helping all to thrive in a just world. I would like to invite you all to rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing our closing hymn, number 16 in the Gray Hymnal, "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple."
'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right.
Our benediction is by the Reverend Michelle Collins. Changes abound, around us, within us, between us, in our communities, our neighborhoods, and our beloved faith communities. Changes abound. May we each find the balance point we need as we move through our ever-changing world. The balance between the old and the new, between the known and the unknown, between the familiar and the perhaps bold and risky possibilities that may be there waiting. Amen.
'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right.